Shalom, Yashrala. This is your brother Dawada from GMS St. Petersburg, Florida, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you all pushing this truth and sincerity in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this quick lesson. Probably not going to be quick, but this here lesson basically dealing with the realization of the times that we living in and, preparing, our people for the times, the things that's ahead to come, and also, also to put out that they're warning to our people, man. Hey, man, this place that you know of is America, which the scriptures call Babylon the Great, is not going to go on forever, man. It's slated to be destroyed. All right. Things are about to get really bad here in America. All right. It's like the ideology, you so happy, so proud. You got you just hit the lotto for 100 million, right? And you want to go buy you this nice big fucking house, right? Or build you this house, right? But you about to build a house or buy a house that's sitting on top of a sinkhole, all right? And it's constantly just getting bigger and bigger, about to swallow the house up. And you over there, with your real estate agent rolling through the neighborhood. Oh, I like this house, making plans in your mind. Okay, I can make this my kids' room and make this the game room and park my Ferrari right here and so on and so forth. Getting all big and bad. Okay, let me go to the bank, get the money, move in, have a housewarming party, family reunion. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing, or that it's built on a sinkhole. You know what I'm saying? Like it's opening up, man. And that's what we telling you to do, man. Like, yo, man, listen, you want to buy a house, cool and dandy, y'all. But don't go buy your house on top of the sinkhole, go buy your house on that sure foundation. And that's what we telling you, man. Don't store up your treasures here on earth. All right. Store up your treasures in heaven. All right. How do I say, doomsday prep a different way. Don't be doomsday prepping here in America with shelters and food and all that kind of stuff. Doomsday prep like this. The scriptures say wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. All right. Know what's coming to pass. Get in good with the Lord. All right. Because he's going to be the only shield and refuge that you're going to have in these days and these things coming. All right. But nevertheless, in this here lesson, I wanted to show basically how these things, like the brother, he skillfully went into talking about a domino effect. All right. How these things can how do I say, turn into a domino effect. But a lot of you people here, seem to be so far removed from a lot of the things going on. You talk to a lot of these regular everyday Americans, right? They're like, well, I don't really watch the news. I'm not into that politics. I don't do this. I don't do that. They just live their life, whatever, not thinking that, they think that in their mind, if I just ignore the news, that don't have no effect on me. I don't really care about that. It's not changing my life. But if I start watching the news, then my life will be changed. Yeah, your life might be changed by knowing what's going on. You're not always caught off guard. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, people who have that mindset think that they're so far removed. For example, I'll probably keep using this example because it's easy to see. A lot of you people who with this government shutdown, you hear about the so-called the food stamps is going to run out or whatever, whatnot. There's a lot of you Edomites who think, and not just Edomites, regular people, anybody, living here in America thinking, well, shit, I'm too good for that. I don't have food stamps. I don't get food stamps, governmental assistance. I pay for my own shit. Whatever, whatnot, and I'll use the example of these Edomites that go to their little Whole Food stores and live in their nice little neighborhoods or whatever, whatnot, but once, food stamps and stuff run out, Jake ain't gonna be going to other Jake to get food because they ain't got no food. They're gonna start running up into these Edomites' houses. All right. So because you're not on food stamps, you don't think you're gonna be affected by these things. Hey, man, you still gonna be affected by these things. Everybody's gonna be affected by all these things. All right. So, you know what I'm saying? What I wanted to go into it in this here lesson is, how do I say, the future of America. All right. And this here government shutdown is a good visualization of how all these things could start taking place, because, a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are nut jobs. You're quoting fiction and this and that. That's not going to ever happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, OK, well, shit, let's just take a look at this government shutdown and look, you really dig deep into that. You can see how many different systems are affected by that and how it's just like the brother said, a domino effect. All right. So we're going to jump into some of these here scriptures, Lord willing, this here lesson is edifying. All right. So we're going to start in Isaiah 24, if we can load up. All right. Isaiah 24:1, it says, behold, Yahweh maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so the seller, as with the lender, so the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury to him. All right. So it says, Yahweh maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down and scattereth their broads thereof. So The Most High is stirring up every damn thing over here. All right. Same with all the people and all these different things. Everybody, like shit, the priest, you got all kind of pedophilia stuff coming out with that. Same with the people, man. There's calamities going on, so much confusion going on with all these different people with so much stuff, man. You know, if you was just to rate the things going on here with America, you know, you got so much stuff going on at once. You like, hold on, slow down. I gotta, you know, I can only deal with so many things at one time. I gotta process some of this stuff. You know, you got so many things hitting people on all kind of different levels, and you know, when you look at it a lot deeper, there's a lot really going on spiritually, according to the Most High's will that's going on, that, you know, the so-called white man is covering up with all these different distractions. That's what a lot of these things are. All right. But nevertheless, all these things is all turned upside down and turned inside out. Everybody's destroyed. This is the land of confusion. Everybody's in a state of confusion right now. You know, you got people thinking this place is the best place ever, is going to go on forever. You know what I'm saying? You have some people who are awake to this here place, but yet they taking a wrong approach. They don't know what the hell to do. You know, you got some people who think that, oh, you know, regardless of what's going on in the world with wars, international, with the money, whatever, whatnot, I'm gonna just maintain and do what I'm doing. Me and my job straight. I get paid good at my job. We're gonna be going on forever. We ain't worried about all that shit, you know. For a quick brief example, you know, I remember years ago, man. Years ago, you know, when I first started waking up to a lot of this stuff, you know, I used to tell my mom about, yo, look at this, look at that. She's telling me all the time, boy, I ain't worried about that shit. I ain't doing all this. You need to stop watching all that news. It's all depressing and this and that, you know. Telling my mom about certain news stories, and she swat me away like a fly. Now my mom come to me telling me about damn news. Did you see this? Did you see that? They doing this. They doing this. My mom is telling me about stuff that, you know what I'm saying, deeper stuff than what the hell I told her about. You know, or you know, they spraying us with this and they coming down with that and so on and so forth. The money finna be gone. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Where did you get all this from? Like, you know what I'm saying? You're not that type of person to even be thinking of doing no shit like that, you know? But now all these, you know, people are starting to see these things, you know? People who was once in a little comfort zone is starting to get a little shaken up and riled up. Like, hold on, something ain't right here, you know? They might not be able to put their finger on it, but they know that something ain't quite right, you know? People are starting to get stirred up in all kind of different ways and moved out of their so-called comfort zone, all right? And that's what the Most High is doing. He's stirring up all kind of things here in America, all right? Bringing the attention off, taking the attention off of the little bullshit that you've been focusing on for so long and putting that attention on him, all right? Well, mainly on his servants, which is pushing out his will and his word, all right? Because you got a lot of these people who's focusing on their jobs, their careers, their kids, whatever, whatnot. Oh, this is going on here. Little Jimmy's going to this and that. Little Jimmy's about to go to college and he's going to do this and that. Hey, man, you need to be worried about, you know what I'm saying, what's really coming to pass, man. Why you over here worried about that bullshit? You paying into a collapsing system, man. You paying into something like that ain't got no real value, bro. Like you over here paying rent on a fucking apartment that burned down six years ago. Like, bro, you're not even standing there. Why you putting your money into some shit that's not there for? All right. But going down to verse 3, it says, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahawah have spoken this word. So yeah, we know that this is the future of America. This place here is gonna be a fucking monument on what not to do. We're gonna look back at this place and be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to say we're gonna be getting out of line, because according to what Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 40, all right, they're talking about we're gonna all be righteous, but carnally speaking, if we was to, you know, somebody was to go off, all you, like one of your kids, you know, your kids want to go off or whatever, whatnot, you just look over there. You see that shit? You want to be like that? You see what I'm saying? Just like Sodom and Gomorrah was for given for an example for anybody who wanted to live like that afterwards. Yo, ass ain't gonna be ash like them. All right. Verse 4: the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The hardy people of the earth do languish. Yeah, these damn proud ass people walking around, everything is all good. You know, you can really, Jake, you know, in the carnal sense, can really check the temperature of America by looking at these so-called smarter, better off Edomites. The Edomites that's like, you know, and I say smarter because, like, you know, just in a carnal sense, because, you know, you got Jake that'll get their paycheck and go spend it all as soon as they get it, whereas the so-called white man will take his check and invest into certain things, you know what I'm saying, getting stacking himself up better off. You know, he know how to play the game in this here system because it's his system. All right. But nevertheless, you starting to see these people languishing. You starting to see these people panicking. All right. You got these people out here crying. What do we do? What are we going to do? You got these people committing suicide and things like this. All right. You have all these different things popping off where these people, the so-called smart Edomites, that know what's going on. All right, they starting to so-called panic and how do I say become weary of the things that's going on. You know, these people who was like, oh no, America's great, we're gonna be the greatest, this and that, we're gonna keep doing so on and so forth. You know, for instance, like you know, all these people who used to believe in the military, America's military is the best, this and that. Well, it is the big, like, you know what I'm saying, like y'all how do I say, not really your military, but your military strength is the biggest military strength on the planet Earth. All right, when you take into account America with their technology plus how do you say, NATO and the EU. All right, when you put that together, that's the biggest force on the planet Earth. All right, but what, America's losing that damn that beast that it's riding on. That whore is losing the beast that it's riding on. The horse, the beast is starting to hate the whore. All right, so what, these different nations are starting to how do I say, back up off of America and things like that. They all starting to, how do I say, move away from America. Oh, we ain't trying to deal with her no more. All right, verse 5 says, the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Why? Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. All right. So this whole place is going down here in America because why? They how do I say, they deviated from the, not really to say the path of righteousness, because they ain't never been on a path of righteousness here. But nevertheless, you see what I'm saying? They waxing worse and worse and worse. All right. You had a person who shit, let's say, for instance, somebody who's dying of an STD, right? Now, this motherfucker then went and, let's say, tried to slit his wrist or some shit. Like, you went from bad to worse. You see what I'm saying? Like, not only do you got an STD and you dying from that shit, you bleeding out over here. You finna die from this shit. You know what I'm saying? You just gonna die faster, you know? But nevertheless, things here is waxing worse and worse here in America, all right? It's on a downhill spiral, all right? Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. All right. It says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right. So just putting these things into perspective. All right. Let me actually get another precept. Putting all these things into perspective. The things that's coming. All right. Like when you get the precept to that Jeremiah 30 and 7, you know, it's going to be a day like never before, even from the time there was a nation, even into this time. So things is waxing worse and worse and worse. Things aren't going to get better. All right. We're looking into the future of America and the so-called future beings of certain things. So, you know, you have to be able to measure or take the temperature of the so-called water and see what things is how do I say, see if the temperature's right. You don't want to jump into a goddamn swimming pool full of boiling water or freezing water. You want to check the temperature and see around, see if it's safe. We checking the temperature like, oh, hell no, this shit boiling water. You're going to burn yourself up in the water. All right. This is Jeremiah 51 and 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. So again, we know what the future of America is. The Most High said what? He's going to turn this whole place upside down. All right, because the whole earth is all fucked up under the inhabitants thereof. And who is the earth given into? The so-called white man. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. All right. But then it also said what? Babylon is suddenly fallen. All right. And it's going to be a time like never before. We know that this is the future that was coming right here in America. Babylon the Great. All right. So verse 9. All right. I like to call this the Donald Trump scripture. We would have healed Babylon. All right. Because that's what he campaigned on. We're going to make America great again. All right. And that's the time that we in right now. The so-called making America great again. That's the so-called, how do I say, the agenda, you know, apparently to, you know, that they telling to the public, they trying to make America great again. Oh, we going to make America great again. So what? The Most High had a response to that. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. All right. That's one of the things that, you know, that's repeated throughout the scriptures. Come out of her, my people. You know what I'm saying? Forsake her. All right. We need to, how do I say, look at this place like it ain't nothing good for us, you know? Think of this place, this is a place of our imprisonment, but we need to think of this place like we in a jail cell and stuff like that. We need to forsake our damn jail cell, you know? Oh, man, like you doing a little stretch in the pen, right? But you finna get out, right? You need to be, you know, walking around your cell, forsaking your cell. You don't need to be like, yo, bro, I'm about to get out in like 10 days. Ain't no need of me putting up no damn posters in my damn jail cell. You know what I'm saying? Trying to decorate this bitch and get this bitch all plushed out and everything like that. Why? Because you about to leave, forsake that place. You know what I'm saying? Your mindset should be in, you know, in that jail cell prison. Shit, bro, in 10 days, I'm finna be out. I'm finna hit the streets. I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? Get my paperwork straight, and I'm about to go get me a little job, and I'm about to, you know, walk on the right path of righteousness. I'm, you know what I'm saying? Go and build me a house, go get me a little family, whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Making plans for outside of that damn prison. These are the things that we should be doing right now. Making plans for being outside of this here prison, i.e. stacking up, storing your treasures in heaven. All right. Look, man, we looking for an everlasting kingdom, man. We're not looking for no continuous in this here place that we in with these defiled ass bodies, defiled everything. Everything is turned upside down in this place, man. The air, the wind, the water, the food, everything is defiled. We're not trying to prolong our stay here. We trying to forsake this place, man. To hell with Babylon. To hell with everything here, man. The quicker the better that this place get destroyed. All right. So it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her. Let us go everyone into his own country, for our judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. All right. So let everyone go into his own country, and you starting to see that, you know what I'm saying? All over the sense. For an example, you know, one of the reasons I don't like talking about the damn, that wall, you know, cause that shit's disrespectful. And it's just, that shit's just retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole story that they spinning about the damn Mexicans, the so-called Mexicans. All right. But nevertheless, you know, when you look at reality of it is here in America, it's bad economically for everybody. Let's just say the legal Americans is bad as fuck for you legal Americans. Let's just talk about the white people here in America. All right. We ain't talking about no Israelites. For here in America is bad economically for you so-called white people. All right. A lot of y'all are complaining about, y'all not, you know, your little argument with white privilege, talking about you ain't getting jobs and this and that. Yeah, y'all ain't getting no jobs because it ain't no jobs for y'all. Y'all done sold all your jobs overseas to get this damn cheap ass labor. All right. You always want the cheapest slaves. All right. Now the so-called white man is complaining that he ain't got no damn jobs and this and that. They're moving their companies out to other countries and things like that. So you got a whole lot of unemployed so-called white people with college degrees, with experience, that can speak English, that's here legally, that pay taxes, right? They can't find jobs. So how much more these so-called illegal immigrants, illegal Mexicans, right, that can't speak English with no degrees in whatever fucking field y'all trying to get them in? There ain't no jobs for these so-called white people. Where do you think the so-called Mexicans is getting these jobs from? They leaving by the droves, going back to Mexico where it's better economically for them. Not just that, you see in other, on the international scale, a larger scale, all right? These countries was dealing with America with the petrodollar. They had to come to America to deal with oil, all right? To move, transport and trade and refine oil, they had to come through America to do that, all right? But now what? China has this new thing, what, the petro yuan. We don't need your petrodollar. We trying to, hey, fuck it. If we ain't got to go to you to deal with this shit no more, we going to deal on our own spot, you know? For instance, you got to, let's say you a dope boy or something, right? And you go to your plug, and your plug is your plug got you, set up or whatever, whatnot. But now you want to cut the middleman out, how they say. You want to cut the plug out. Now you about to start manufacturing your own drugs. All right. That's basically what these other countries is doing. They're like, you know what? America was our plug beforehand, but you know what? We're going to start manufacturing our own shit over here and cut them up out of there. We're going to go home and do this on our own. You see what I'm saying? Same with militarily wise. You got some countries that's pissed off right now, telling America, you can't tell us where we can and can't spend our money at and what we can and can't purchase or what kind of weapons we can and can't buy, i.e. Turkey. All right. Then you also have the French, President Macron and them talking about, look, man, we need to worry about cutting America up out the script. You know what I'm saying? Might need to deal with Russia and Iran. You know what I'm saying? And break our military agreements with America and things like that. These are all representations of all these countries going back home. All right. Mainly like in an international sense. They're not dealing with America. But then at the same time here in America, you have on an individual level, lots of people are going back to their own mainland countries where they better off in their own countries. Not just that, you have a lot of these damn Edomites, the well-off Edomites, you know what I'm saying? They tell each other with the business and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You have them right now moving out to, what is it? Tasmania or Tunisia? I think it's Tasmania, or it might be Tunisia, New Zealand. And there's another little place that they go into for their so-called retreats because they know that America's done. All right. But nevertheless, all these different people and nations, and they all going back, man. Hey, they basically getting off of America's titty. All right. And our people, we don't really have nowhere to go once we get up off of America's titty, but unto the Most High. And our people don't want to do all that. You see what I'm saying? Our people is just stuck onto this here system, man. All right. And you're going to want to follow with this here system. All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. In the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shut in the street, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall raise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right. Mainly speaking, or let me just start with speaking on the music, the daughters of music being brought low. You know, it's more or less like a sad mourning song. You know, like, you know, Lil Jon have crunk music, get crunk, party, have a good time. You know, but then you have like certain R&B songs, slow songs like that. Man, I miss my homie died, my woman left me, whatever, whatnot. You have these so-called sad type stories. You know, and shit. One of the songs I could say spiritually that America, or these Americans is singing, is that what a change is going to come. They praying and hoping for a change, you know, a change for the good, but really it's going to be a change. It's really going to be a change for the good for us, but a change for the bad for them. You know, that's the sentiment here in America. You know, they all praying for better days. They all praying for something better. You know, oh, we're going to pray for the president. We need to pray for the president that he can help us all out. I pray that things get better. Everybody's in that state of mourning right now here in America. All right. Why? It says, in the days when the keepers of the house shall tremble and the strong men shall bow themselves. Who is the keepers of the house and these strong men? These are basically the how you say, the elites or the know-hows, the people that's running shit. You know what I'm saying? The people who got big money, whatever, whatnot. The damn, like, people like your Warren Buffetts, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, these types of people. When you start seeing them so-called panicking and leaving America, shutting down their businesses, taking all their money up out of these things, these are signs of real trouble and calamity, because they the ones that's orchestrating a lot of these things. So they the ones that know. Just like on September 11th, right? They tell you that no so-called Jewish people died in the buildings, or you know, the people that was on the inside, whatever, whatnot. They told their people not to go to work that day. Why? Because they had already had how you say, inside information on it. Same with this. You have these so-called smart, well-off-to-do white people, more or less to say, smart being they know how to manipulate their system. They know it's time to pull the plug, and what? They starting to tremble, and oh shit, this thing's gonna get, you know, and, you know, I had hundreds of millions, but is that gonna really get me up out of here? You know, you got a lot of these well-off Edomites buying these super yachts with these submarines in there. All right, so what? They can go offshore and hide it out. All right, but it says, and the grinders cease because they are few. And those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the door shall be shut in the street when the sign of grinding is low. All right. What is that going into? Businesses shutting down. You know what I'm saying? The economic cycle is slowing. This is rotation. All right. Money is slowing down here in America. All right. It's only going to be a small amount of time, a short amount of time before, you know what I'm saying, things is really up against the pavement, more or less to say, you know, things is really going to get real tight over here, because why? More and more businesses are shutting down. All right. More and more people are becoming unemployed, not because, I mean, all of this is orchestrated, but nevertheless, you got to understand they're going into a whole new system, man. They got robots to replace all of these things. All right. So they need to get all you human beings out of the workforce. All right. And they're going to use one way or another. But at the end of the day, when people start realizing that, how do I say, that they basically enslaved and they got to go to their damn government for certain things, and things just ain't right, man. These people going to be running through any and everybody damn house just for some damn food. All right. Things are getting bad. The scriptures are how do I say, not to say describing, but the scriptures are prophesying, more or less to say, they telling you beforehand what's going to happen here, or they describing what the scenario is going to be like here in America. And as we see, we on that downhill spiral right there towards that how do I say, to, you know, where the scripture says it's going to be at. All right. So from there, we're going to go to the book of Luke. This is Luke 21:25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, which we about to have these blood moons start running back through again. All right. And upon the earth, distress of nations, with perplexity in the sea and the waves roaring. All right. And men's heart failing for the fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, and for the powers of heaven. All right. And so you have right now distress upon the nations. All right. With a whole bunch of perplexity, and all these people, men's hearts fell on them for the things looking, oh, bro, how are we going to do, man? You know, again, you got all these Edomites talking about some, look, man, it's time to, you know what I'm saying, take our money and try to go run to another country. You know what I'm saying? We need to move our stuff over here and there. We need to stack up on food, canned goods, get a doomsday bunker. We need to form militias. We need to go get guns and bullets and stuff like that. You have a lot of these people that's in this state of mind. All right. Oh, shit, man. Look at these white folks. You know what I'm saying? These so-called white people with their patriot groups. They got their little militias, whatever, whatnot. If things go down, we're going to go hunting. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? They stacking up all these things. Why? Not because they comfortable and they just, everything is going to be good. Nah, they pulling out their guns because they know that there's a time of perplexity coming. They know that they're like, look, man, you know what I'm saying? Especially with these food stamps and stuff going out and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like, hey, they already know. Let me just keep going in the scriptures because it's going to paint those same pictures. All right. This is going to let you know what's coming to pass. All right. But our people, they don't want to, how do I say, prepare for these types of things. All right. This is Matthew 24 and verse 6. It says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows. All right. Let me just continue on reading down. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then many shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. I'm going to jump to verse 12. And because the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. So we in this state now where you have what? Nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. All right. You have, wars and rumors of wars being spoken about all the damn time. All right. Right now, we're telling you about this government shutdown could lead to some kind of how you say, not a war as we know with two countries or anything like that, but really race wars and stuff like that. People just fighting over a lack of bread, you know, those types of things. But what we're not saying when you look outside your window, you're going to see this right here, right now. That would be it's actually happening. We telling you that, hey, look, these things are coming to pass. These things are going to soon happen. All right. Just like we know Gog and Magog, you know, Russia and America, they're going to fight it out, you know, eventually. You know what I'm saying? So right now we speaking on a rumor of a war there. All right. But soon to come to pass, it's going to be a real war. All right. These things are all coming to pass here in America. It's going to get real bad here. All right. So it says, jumping down, it says, well, let me go back. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and they shall kill you and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Yeah, we already see that now. All right. But when it comes down to pass, when you know, because we at the end of it now. All right. So we've been saying all these things for so long, like the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. Now we're in the year where it seems like that they're going to actually implement that chip. So now people are going to start looking at us like, look, y'all motherfuckers are the ones who brought all this shit upon us. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all was the only motherfuckers screaming all this shit. And now look at it. We all here now. Well, no, we was warning you that the so-called white man was doing this shit to you, but you didn't want to take heed. So now you just got to, you know, take the judgment. All right. But yet they're going to still try to come up and put us to death for these things. All right. And it says, and the iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. And so why are these things going to start happening like that? Because let me actually grab that in the book of 2nd Ezra 15. All right. Second Ezra 15, I want to say 14. Yep. Woe unto the world and them that dwell therein. And that's exactly what we screaming right now. Woe unto the world, man. Hey, look, you know, destruction is coming. All right. Verse 15, for the destruction and for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another people with swords in their hands. So, hey, the love of many is waxing, you know, iniquity is abounding, because the love of many is waxing cold. You know, people is hatred is growing between people. All right. People is looking at people like the wall. The reason that they so-called pushing and advertising this here wall is based off of what? The so-called hatred against the so-called Mexicans. All right. All these illegal Mexicans coming over here, raping and stealing and killing and so on and so forth. You know, I heard somebody say, you know, we just want to build up a wall to keep all the bad people out. I don't think there's anything wrong with keeping all the bad people out. Like, but see, you got in your mind that the bad people can only be Mexicans, because when you take, you know, the crime rate, you know what I'm saying, and you take all the so-called illegal Mexicans that's over here, that's committing all the crimes that they committing, and you compare that to all the legal citizens here in America, the legal citizens here in America commit way more crime, way more harsher crimes than the so-called illegal Mexicans that's coming over here. So with that ideology and that mindset that, look, oh, this problem is because they Mexican. Nah, it's just your hatred against Jake that you want to blame everything on Jake. All right. Jake ain't the ones doing this shit, man. Jake ain't the ones that's making all these calamities and all these things happen. All right. All the times things in control is going bad because of why? Because it's of your so-called system. All right. The way you got these things being ran, you know, I would say, you know, but some people would be like, oh, well, the president ain't really in control. Yeah, we know the president ain't really in control of shit. But nevertheless, It's a system that's put in place and ran by you goddamn Edomites, all right? And some of you might say, well, Barack Obama was black and he was there before, but yeah, he's still serving out the how do you say, the agenda of the so-called white man, all right? But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying? These people here, especially these Edomites, is always looking for somebody to place blame on. And who they gonna place the blame on? Primarily Jake. And Jake ain't in control of none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame Jake for everything going bad here because we not in control of this shit. You the one in control of every damn thing. You the one over here bombing up other countries and making all these other countries mad. So these other countries don't want to fuck with you because of your doing, not because of us. We ain't got no military like that. All right. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. All right. There shall be sedition among men and invading one another. All right. So like I was saying, man, love of many is waxing cold, man. These people gonna hate one another, man. These people is gonna be raised up against one another and starting to fight one another because of what? Why? Because things is getting tight over here, man. When you can't eat, you can't feed your kids, and you know, you go back to that primal state, man. All the glitz and glams of Babylon the Great here go out the window, man. You don't be, man, I got a Benz. I got a nice new Lexus. And this is, man, fuck that Lexus and fuck the Benz. You like, yo, man, I love this car, whatever, whatnot, but some shit popping off and the car's stuck. And it's either, look, we're going to go back and get in the car or we're going to just get it out here on foot. Motherfucker, you better fuck that car. We're going to get it out on foot. We risk dying going back over there for that bullshit car that you love. You know what I'm saying? In that time, that mindset, all that little petty shit go out the window. People go back to they primary state of just survival of the fittest. You know what I'm saying? They're like, look, bro, I gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? I'll run up in anybody's house just to eat. All right. It says there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right. So at this point in time, man. All right. And I eat with the government shutdown. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of governmental employees. You know what I'm saying? The police departments and things like that. You know what I'm saying? What happens if we get so bad that they don't want to, how do I say, come out and protect the you know, do their job? Because like, look, I only got $20 left and it's going to cost me, you know, $10 to get to work and another $10 to get back. Or do I save that $20 to get some food for my family? Fuck going to work, because I ain't really getting paid anyway. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? And at this point in time, it's going to be like, yo, bro, we got to eat. We're not worried about the police. You know what I'm saying? You see this in a lot of different movies, you know, when things go real bad. Let's say you have an EMP go off and there's no electricity, nothing like this, you know, and you got to go and get medicine or whatever, whatnot, just to survive or whatever, whatnot. Like, I can't think of what that movie was, but they go in there into the store and they see the police right there beside them. They get kind of stuck, but he's stealing for his own self. All right. 911 ain't gonna be working in these days, man. People gonna be running up in folks' house and they be like, man, fuck the police. You think I'm gonna just sit in my house and not rob the person next to me who I know got food and fear of going to jail? You see them saying, nah, I'm about to go over here and eat. You know what I'm saying? I can't call the police for whatever, whatnot. I can't use them for that. People's mindset is gonna switch back over into this. All right. It says, verse 17, a man shall desire to go in the city and should not be able to. All right. For why? When things like this start happening, all these calamities, what do you think they're going to enact? Martial law, quarantining off cities. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled and their houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity on his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of a lack of bread and for great tribulation. So again, people going to be running through the streets. All right. They're going to be running through all, you know, your neighborhoods, apartments, door to door, running through your house. Like I said, you know, like with this government shutdown, a lot of people think that they, you know, let's say this is going to be going out for the long haul. You know, they was going to extend this all the way out. You know, this is just end all be all, you know, so-called white people and certain people think, oh, I ain't on food stamps. I ain't on governmental assistance. You know what I'm saying? But when Jake and the whole hood can't eat, you know what I'm saying? They're going to start running through your neighborhood, you know, or better yet, you know, they ain't going to be trying to rob you for money. They're going to be waiting on you outside the Whole Food store. All right. The Whole Food store going to be looking like the damn bank. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be going there with your little groceries coming out. Hey, man, somebody will blow your damn brains out for a bag of rice. All right. You see what I'm saying? Just for some damn food. So people going to be running through people's houses. All right. And killing their neighbors and stuff just for food, you know, and for all the different things that's going on. You know, it's going to be like I mean, I know a lot of you brothers watch that movie Bird Box. You see what they was doing just for some damn food at the grocery store, right? You see what I'm saying? How they had to get out just like, hey, we need some food. You see what I'm saying? Got a couple more scriptures we're going to close out. Lord willing, we can get this here video recorded this time. All right, so we're going to go to the book of Isaiah chapter 30. Read it from the top. Isaiah 30:1. Woe unto the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that covereth with the covering, but not of my spirit. They that may add sin to sin, that walk to go down to Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. All right, jump to verse 5. They were all ashamed of a people that could not profit them, nor be in help nor profit, but of shame, and also a reproach. All right, and basically to our people, man, you know, you want to walk hand in hand with these damn people, man. You know, put so much trust and so much faith in the so-called white man and the government. You know, fuck it. Right now, you got a lot of people, man. My food stamps come all the time. The government, you know, you had some Jake, man. The government is the perfect baby daddy. He always pay on time and he always exact right. Well, guess what? Right now, ain't no bills coming in right now. You see what I'm saying? You ain't got nothing coming in. So what? You know, you putting your trust in Egypt, all right, on a military or the police gonna protect me if shit go down. People try to rob my house, I'm gonna call 911. All right, 911 show up, they're like, yeah, you know, 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, we got some folks trying to rob us for our food in our house. You know what I'm saying? It's just me, you know, a woman calling. It's just me and my kids in here. All right, well, what's your address? All right, we're going to send somebody out there right now. And the police show up and you think they come to save your ass. They come to get some goddamn food. You see what I'm saying? So what? You putting your trust in Egypt, you know, some people trusting in the stock market and, you know, all the different, you know, systems that they got going on here in America. I'm gonna be good. I got this money. I got that money. I got so and so, so on and so forth. But yet when all these systems start shutting down and you're like, oh, what am I going to do now? All right. Because you putting all your trust and your faith into Egypt. All right. Or America. All right. And then into the system here. Oh, well, Donald Trump will fix everything. Everything will be all right. We're going to just make it eventually, you know, but what? Since, hey, really, you know, you just think back. Everything's just constantly getting progressively worse. It's not getting no better. All right. So from there, we're going to go to, still in the book of Isaiah. Come on. Isaiah 13. And 14. It says, and it shall be as a chased roe, as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land. So what? People gonna be going back onto their own people. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, we already segregated as it is now. Jake hang out with Jake in the hood. Most gangs, you know, look at the Bloods and the Crips. Most of them is all like the same so-called race of people. All right. They already clicked up together the same way. You got Asian gangs, black gangs, Hispanic gangs. They already, you know, mobbed up. White folks hang out with white folks, the country clubs, so on and so forth. They already with their own people. But you got some people who still, hang out with other nations and stuff. They buddy with them. The smarter them folks, they gonna cleave back to their people, because that's basically, not to say where their strength gonna be, but you know what I'm saying, people gonna look at the opposite of their people first and foremost, before they look at, you know, to their own neighbor, more or less to say. You know what I'm saying? So like in the hood, you know, things that'll probably go down first before, you know, people in the hood start trying to jack each other, they gonna go to the white man hood first. They're gonna go and invade everybody else first and foremost. All right. But then eventually when all those resources go out, they're going to be going at each other's throat. All right. It says, you know, it should be as a chased roe, as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Their children also shall be dashed into pieces before their eyes, and their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. All right. So basically, like, who's reading in Second Esdras, man, it's going to be a lot of death and destruction that's coming to this here land. All right. It's going to be a lot of people running up in people's houses, raping wives and spoiling homes and killing up the whole household. All right. This is Isaiah 32. And 9, it says, rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. All right. Upon the land of my people shall come upon the thorns and briars, yea, all the houses of joy in the joyous city. All right, so basically, let me see. So basically, it's gonna come time, you know, talking about these careless women. It's gonna come a time like we in now. You know, a lot of you women depend on the governmental assistance. You know, all the government is my best baby daddy. But wait, when the government starts shutting down and things like that happen, you ain't gonna be able to go call onto the government. You know, you get into all kind of disputes, you just start screaming, the police come, they always on your side. 911 ain't gonna work in that day. All right. So you women, you know what I'm saying, walking around getting your ass shots and stripping and twerking and all these different things, you know what I'm saying, trying to get all the sex appeal and get men trapped in by your sex appeal and stuff like that. That's gonna be your worst attribute in these days, man. All right. Because why? Because basically men gonna be looking on these types of things, you know what I'm saying? People gonna be like, oh shit, she, you know what I'm saying, we can use her for whatever, whatnot. All right, you ain't gonna you don't have no real strength. All right, I'm gonna read this and close out. Micah 7:10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which saying to me, where is Yahawah thy power? My eyes shall behold her, now shall she be trodden down as the mire in the streets. All right, so basically, you know what I'm saying, hey man, all these women that's putting of our women, you know, that's putting your trust into Egypt and all these different things, you know what I'm saying, mocking and scoffing at the men of the Lord, things gonna get real bad and worse for you as well. All right, Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying into the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal, Yahawah, Ba'ashem, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And citation and much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.